Welcome back to the News at 10. Since the end of September, when the president sent his ministerial list to the senators, there have been a lot of activities at the Senate. So far, 21 nominees have been cleared, and the Senate is expected to resume screening of the remaining candidates tomorrow. What should Nigerians expect? Joining me now is a senator representing Kaduna State, Senator Shehu Sani. He joins me from Abuja. Senator Sani, thank you for joining us on the News at 10. Senator, the Senate resumes screening tomorrow. What should Nigerians expect?
Thank you very much. Well, Nigerians should expect the Senate to do its job. That is to ask questions that are related to the screening process, and also to provide an opportunity for Nigerians to know who are their knowledge, and also the quality they develop. The screening process has been on in the last 2 days, and what is certainly going to come tomorrow is the continuation of the process.
I know the Senate has promised to be very thorough with the exercise, but some have criticized the senators for simply asking some nominees to just take a bow and go. Do you think anything will be different tomorrow?
Well, it is not all the nominees that were told to take a bow and go. Specifically, Nigerians have seen how we were able to thoroughly interrogate the nominees, and the deficiency in the process certainly has to do with the fact that portfolios were not attached to their names. And as such, we ask questions based on our assumptions, that is what is in their resume. And then they were expected also to respond. And I can understand that Nigerians wanted us to ask tough questions, but we ask questions based on our own belief that whoever is going to be whoever is a nominee will, in all possible ways, answer questions that were directed at him based on what we see in his resume. We cannot do anything more than that. Nominees came in, and then all the 109 senators had the opportunity to ask questions, and we cannot ask more than what is there. So it is what we have at hand that we certainly will ask that. But we can say that part of the in-house rules is that those that were either senators before or members of House of Reps before, it has been the convention that they will be treated differently, in the sense that that is the rule of the House. You came in, and then you are asked 1 or 2 questions, and then you take a bow. That has been the case in the last 16 years.
Yeah, one of the most interesting nominees in the Senate during the screening has been one of the nominees who is married to Senator Abba Ibrahim. She had come in ready to answer questions, but her husband was not exempted from the exercise. In fact, he actually raised the motion that she take a bow and go. She was not asked any questions. Number one, that's one example of a ministerial nominee who wasn't asked any questions. And then should her husband, who's a senator, have been exempted from that screening exercise, at least when it came to her turn?
Well, she was a member of House of Reps before being nominated, and ordinarily she's supposed to take a bow. Then on the lighter mood, her husband was given the opportunity to ask questions, but even without him asking questions, certainly as a former member of House of Reps, she is eminently qualified to be a minister. And then he was allowed to ask her questions. I think what Nigerians should understand there was that the whole confirmation process is an opportunity for Nigerians, both within and outside of the country, to know who were their nominees and what do they have in stock for the portfolios which they are most likely going to take after being confirmed. So there is nothing unusual telling him to ask her some few questions. Ordinarily, she could have taken a bow and go.
Senator Shehu Sani, thank you for joining us on the News at 10. Appreciate your thoughts, and we pray for the best as the Senate's ministerial nominees screening continues tomorrow.
Thank you.
The ancient city of Ile-Ife now has a new monarch. He is no other than Prince Ayade Enitan Ogunwusi of the Geshi ruling house, who becomes the 51st Oni of Ife. A press statement issued by the Osun State Governor, Rauf Aregbesola, says that the kingmakers of Ife had completed the required process and communicated the choice of Prince Ogunwusi to his office for approval. Prince Ogunwusi takes over from Oba Okwade Shijuade, who died on July 28th in a London hospital. The Oni-elect was selected from 21 candidates presented by the Geshi ruling house for the exalted seat. Prince Ogunwusi is a graduate of accountancy and a certified member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria and of the Institute of Management. Before Prince Ogunwusi's appointment, the last descendant of the Geshi ruling house that occupied the position was Oni Derin Ologbela, and that was between 1880 and 1894. Let's go now to business news with Imana Amawe.
You first. First Bank.
Welcome to Business News. Cross River State Governor Ben Ayade has proposed a budget of 350 billion naira for the 2016 fiscal year. Titled Budget of Deep Vision, the 2016 fiscal document, which is Ayade's first budget as governor, represents 273.7% increase over the 2015 appropriation bill of the immediate past administration. The governor says the increment is as a result of expected funds from foreign direct investment. While FBN Holdings Group Chief Executive Mr. Bello Machido says 2015 has been a challenging year so far, with a slowing economy and credit conditions adversely impacting the operating performance of the financial services group. Mr. Machido's statement comes as the group announces a 9-month results showing gross income growth of 16.9% to 390 billion naira, a non-interest income jump of 13.4% to 2.5 billion naira, while net profits declines 9.7%. The group CEO says the financial services group is managing the challenging environment by leveraging its assets and pricing adjustments to reflect higher default risks associated with contracting national economy. And Stanbic IBTC has debunked claims by the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria that its accounts are defective and require rectification. The lender describes the FRC's allegations as, quote, inaccurate and unfortunate, end of quote. In a statement released today, the Chief Executive Officer of the bank, Mrs. Shola David Boha, said Stanbic IBTC is a very responsible organization and fully complies with all extant laws and regulations in Nigeria and international best practices applicable to the conduct of its business, as it is the only Nigerian bank that is AAA rated by Fitch. She adds that contrary to the media reports, no directors of the bank of Stanbic IBTC have been removed. The Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria had issued a regulatory order suspending the FRC numbers of 4 directors of the bank, following an investigation in response to petition by some minority shareholders of irregularities in the bank's 2013 and 2014's audited accounts. In the meantime, MTN Nigeria has received the largest regulatory fine ever issued in the country's corporate history. The Nigeria Communications Commission on Monday issued a historic fine of 1.04 trillion naira, that's about $5.2 billion against the telecommunications service provider, which is the country's largest mobile network operator. The commission says the company was fined for failing to disconnect subscribers with unregistered and incomplete subscriber identification models or SIM cards within the stipulated time given by the regulator. And listed financial institution Skybank is mounting support for women empowerment through a life-changing initiative tagged Sky Pearl. At a launch of the scheme in Lagos, executives of the bank assured women that the program will create access to finance and enhance their capacity building. Channel's business correspondent Temple Ashaju reports.
Customers of Skybank, mainly drawn from the female gender, witnessing the birth of Sky Pearl, an initiative aimed at empowering women. The chief executive, Mr. Timothy Oguntayo, says the need to up the game for women paved way for Sky Pearl.
Sky Pearl is not just about financial products. It's also about capacity building, empowerment, advisory services, and of course, access to finance.
The guest speaker, Mrs. Debola Oshibogun, believes that the initiative is strategic for women's economic capacity.
With this project, Skybank is removing barriers that prevent women from having the same access to human resources and economic opportunities that can enhance economic efficiency and improve other development outcomes.
With the details presented, Sky Pearl is launched.
We have signed up with quite a number of multilateral organizations who are looking at empowering women just as us. And they have decided to offer us loans on soft terms so that it's going to be less prohibitive in cost. And that's what we tend to pass on to the women.
A Sky Pearl woman who comes for a loan, for example, gets the loan at a concessionary interest rate. We also have grants where we will be selecting a few individuals, women, who maybe excel in a particular field.
And customers express their expectations from Sky Pearl.
With this, we know that Skybank is women friendly. They love women and they want to empower women, which I think is very good. For now, the new mantra is that Skybank is the women's bank.
Many of them want to start business, they don't know how to. Some want to expand their business and they just don't have the funds. An initiative like this, where you have women helping women, would definitely make them feel at ease.
Access to Sky Pearl privileges entails a registration requirement. The bank hopes to impact thousands in the medium term. Temple Ashaju, Channel's Business News.
At the local bourse, the week opened with investors giving most stocks the cold shoulder as several earnings reports disappoint. Here's BC Adebayo with details.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Reports. It was a bearish start at the Nigeria equities market as the key indicators began the week 0.61% lower. The all-share index dropped back below the 30,000 mark at 29,828.95 with a market capitalization of 10.25 trillion naira. Market breadth was negative as 28 losers outweighed 10 gainers. Okomo Oil was the day's top loser with 8.38% and is followed by Nigerian Breweries and GlaxoSmithKline. 10 stocks appreciated, and top on that list was Seplat with a 0.21% gain at 235 naira. Wapco and Flour Mills of Nigeria also appreciated to 98 naira and 21 naira 30 kobo respectively. Bank stocks were the major contributors to market turnover, and Zenith Bank pulled the highest unit of shares at 177.67 million. When the closing gong rang, investors had exchanged 366.91 million shares in 2,976 deals and valued at 5.32 billion naira. And that ends the stock market reports. I am BC Adebayo.
Thank you, BC. Well, most stocks on the global scene sustained the bearish trend. Let's take a look. And that's Business News Tonight. I'm Imana Amawe. Stay tuned. Amarachi continues the broadcast.
You first. First Bank.
Still ahead on the news at 10, ahead of the Golden Eaglets' preparations for the round of 16 match against Australia, coach Emmanuel Amunike believes it will define their under-17 FIFA World Cup campaign. We'll have details in sports news. Please join us again.